G'day folks, Sheilas and Blokes, it's Jojo's ASMR back here with my third deck profile on John's channel. Thank you very much to him, of course, for giving me the opportunity to show you guys my list. Today I'm going to be deck profiling my undefeated first place 8-0 Altergeist Secret Village Turbo deck. I definitely think this is the best way to play Altergeist right now, given the current format. It just destroys pure, it's a buy literally. And yeah, I came first at the Invitational State Championship Good Games tournament. So I was really happy with this list, undefeated 8-0. So before we get into the profile, I'll just quickly comment on why I believe this build in particular was so successful. And that's because simply due to the fact that we build the main deck to out pure. Like Steven Trifanovsky said, every deck has a game plan, and Altergeist's game plan this format, I'm telling you right now, it has one purpose. Is Secret Village of the Spellcasters and an Altergeist monster. If you resolve your game plan, you instantly win the duel. So what we try to do is to replicate in every situation was just have Village and an Altergeist monster and you win. So the side deck we had, sided for every other matchup, but for this it's just to beat pure, and it does 100% of the time. So let's get into the profile. You have a very standard engine. 3 Marionetta, 3 Multifaker, 3 Fish, 2 Kieran, and your horse. Nothing to be said here, it's very standard. Up next, the only hand traps we played in this deck were 3 Ash. Originally I was playing Ogre, but the whole point, again, the game plan is to resolve Village. This deck isn't even called Altergeist, it's called Village Turbo deck. You want to see the Village, you don't care about ogering the multi-roll. Like, yeah, that's nice and all, but you're going -1, whereas Village effectively stops that and all their other spells as well. So what difference does it make if you just ogre the multi-roll? So yeah, we only played Ash, and that's there for the Mirror, for Rogue, for Shizuku, Spells. Double Desires. We could play 3. I was even considering it because, like I said, the game plan is just see that Village. You don't care what you banish, but yeah, we played 2 of them. It did alright. I might bump it up to 3. Triple Shared Right. This card's insane, this format. It's better than Duality in my honest opinion because Duality sucks in the mid to late game. This card not only lets you draw cards like Duality does, but it makes your opponent stop drawing cards. So it's effectively max C, and it's your insurance if this card gets popped. So you have to play this card, I believe. And then, of course, your second, third, fourth copy of Imperial Order. This card is so unbelievably unfair. The fact that you can stop your opponent from playing the game, not only against Pure, it's broken against Cyber Dragon because you cut off all their spells. It's broken against even Pendulum Magician. This card was so unfair against my final match against Pendulums. I activated this card, resolve Multifaker, and summon Silquidos on his standby phase. So basically, if he wants to activate his Pendulum Scales, he's going to have to normal summon a Spellcaster. So he normal summons Blackfang, I bounce it with Bird, he has to end his turn. In that whole game, he wasn't able to activate a single card because he'd have to keep committing a normal summon to a Spellcaster only for it to get bounced, and he'd have to end his turn. So it's kind of unfair. This card is really degenerate, and of course we have our purple colored terraformings. The fact that if you go first, they can't even twin twist to this is insane. So you're playing basically 6 copies of Imperial Order. It's stupid. Then your trap cards. This is a very standard engine. 2 Protocol, 2 Manifestation, 3 Spoofing. Nothing to be said there. For the longest time I was playing only one of these, but it's really nice to have another one after you Desires. And it's another spoofing target because sometimes you'll just never see an Altergeist card, and it's nice. The only other hand trap we play that's only good in this deck is Impermanence, and that's about it. And then, of course, Strike is ridiculous, this format. You can hit the Ray. Oops. You can hit the Ray. Just stop it from coming back. What else can you hit? Just like the Mirror Match and a Pendulum Summon. This card's obviously insane. And Judgment, and of course, Exodia the Forbidden One himself. Imperial Order. So 40 cards in the main deck. Very standard. Not much to be said. In the extra deck, your 3 Hexias, of course, and your 1 Prime Banshee. You only summon this if you want to out Falcon, which if you have to in the first place, you're going to lose, so you never summon that. Our Link ones were Link Karibo and Clara. The only reason we play Clara is because if you have to out Inspector Border, you mind control it and link it off for Clara, just to out it. We had only the one Nightmare card that we played in this deck was Phoenix. It's just generic back row removal, I guess, but also it's a big body. And if you have to link off a monster with Inspector Water or something. Ningirasu for that pesky non-targetable removal. Of course, you have your dragons. This guy to out the other Warlord, and this guy because he's expensive, so why not? You're waking the dragon targets, Exterior and Falcon. You never want to summon this guy against Pure. You always want to summon Exterior. It's very easy for Pure to out Falcon, and it happened to me. All they have to do is just Shark Cannon a Hexia, or just any level 2 monster, rank 2 monster in your link 2 monster in your graveyard. Widow Anchor one of your monsters on the field, and that's already 3 monsters for the link summon of Boral Sword to out this. Whereas this is just insane. Like, the only out they have to this is like Strike or Ogre. It's very easy for them to out Falcon in Pure. So you always want to summon Exterior against Sky Striker. And then our spicy tech, our Kagari, Hayate, and Alistair, the Invoker of Madness. You summon all of these, and I'll show you how in the side. So the side deck was basically for, partly for Sky Striker, but also for the mirror match. Waking the Dragon, of course, is insane this format. For Draco, if their spells pop your stuff, it's really good. Triple Inspector Water for the mirror match, obviously, and for Burning Abyss, I guess. Heavy Storm Duster, just generic back row removal for Draco, for Altergeist. And then one of the MVP cards, Mind Control. This card's so good. You gotta steal the Inspector Water. You gotta steal, it's just like negation bait. What else is it? Like, and it's best against Sky Striker, because that's why we also play 1 drones in our side deck, and I'll show you the combo with this. And then 2 Mind Crush. So quickly before the video ends, I'll show you the combo with this against Sky Striker going second. So effectively what you do is against Sky Striker going second, they'll always have Shizuku on the end phase and like 3 back row and like a multi-roll. So you draw for 10. It doesn't matter what your hand is. If you have this, it's instant. Remember the game plan. Stick to the game plan. As Triff said, you want to resolve Secret Village of the Spellcasters and an Altergeist and a Spellcaster. So they'll always have Shizuku. Main phase, Mind Control the Shizuku. You're going to link the Shizuku into a Hayate. Attack and at damage step, send the drones that you sighted in. Main 2, link the Hayate into Kagari. It's going to add back the drones. You're going to activate that drones, getting your token. And then you're going to link summon the token and Kagari into Alistair. So what does this do? It does a few things, and it does really great things. So first of all, Alistair is a spellcaster, so you establish a spellcaster straight off the bat. But also, more importantly, you cut off the ray, and that's huge. So yeah, so you cut off the ray, you have good arrows, you establish a spellcaster, and from then you can activate one of your 6 copies of Imperial Order. So it's broken, and then you haven't even normal summoned, so you can normal summon like Marionetta or something, and or Meluseek, and just keep on going. So this is a really great play, and that's basically the combo. That's going to wrap up the deck list. Thanks again to John Moore for allowing me to feature this deck profile here. I definitely think this is the way to play Altergeist currently in the format until it evolves. But 5-6 copies of Imperial Order in the main deck is insane. And that's going to wrap up the deck list. Thanks so much for having me again on the channel, and I'll see you all next time.